Practice problem number 3 for chapter 25, and this is an exercise that is in relation to segment elimination. So when it comes to eliminating segments, this is where the manager actually comes in, do or conduct an analysis on in several departments to figure out if it would be beneficial for the company as a whole to eliminate some departments or keep some departments. And that determination is going to be done based on taking the costs or comparing the costs to the sales. If the costs are greater than the sales, then that's something uh, to consider when it comes to determining whether a department should be kept or eliminated. Now, there are going to be some costs that are avoidable and unavoidable. So, you'll have some avoidable costs, which usually are variable costs. There could be some fixed costs too as well that could be lumped into avoidable costs. But variable costs, it varies. So you can make some adjustments there when it comes to uh, eliminating some of that costs. Unavoidable costs, usually those are fixed costs. Um, it's hard to avoid those costs because it's fixed. So, like for example, like rent in a building. So if you're paying rent for a facility or in a facility, then yes, that's going to be unavoidable. That's something that's going to be fixed, and you have to pay that no matter what. So something like things like that when it comes to avoidable costs and unavoidable costs. So we know when it comes to unavoidable costs, you can eliminate those costs, but avoidable costs you can because you can avoid it. You got some flexibility there. So for letter A, it says if the company plans to eliminate departments that have sales. Okay, sales less than avoidable costs, which departments would be eliminated. So we see here we got departments M, N, O, P, T. And out of these departments, we have to figure out whether they should be or would be eliminated based on sales being less than avoidable costs. So I'm going to put over here letter A, and we're just going to figure out which departments would be eliminated based on avoidable costs being greater than sales. So Department M looks like sales is greater than avoidable costs of 63K and 9,800. So we'll keep Department M. Department N, sales is 35,000, avoidable cost is 36,000. So 36,400. So we should or would eliminate Department N. So that's one. Department O looks like sales are greater than avoidable costs. So we will keep Department O. Department P, same thing. Sales are greater than avoidable costs. And then for Department T, sales of 28K is going to be, yes, it's less than avoidable cost of 37,800. So we will actually eliminate Department T as well. So that's for letter A. Letter B, it says for us to compute the total increase in income if the departments with sales less than avoidable costs are eliminated. So we have already identified the two departments that have avoidable costs greater than sales, which are Department N and Department T. Now we're just going to compute the uh, the benefit, the incremental benefit that it would have on a company if they decided to eliminate those two departments. So starting with Department N, okay, we're going to take our revenue, which is our sales, subtract that our avoidable costs. Okay, that's our expenses to get our income or loss. So we're just going to do a plug-in. So the sales that would be generated in the Department N is 35,000. Avoidable cost is 36,400. So I'm putting it in brackets, letting you know that this is an expense. This is a cost. So if we take 35,000, subtract that 36,400, our cost, that's going to give us 1,000, let's see, $400. as a loss. Hopefully I did do the math correctly. I could be wrong. Okay, so I'm just doing a little check. 36,400 minus 35,000. Okay, yes, that gives me $1,400. Next, we're going to bring in Department T sales and avoidable costs. So that comes out to be 28,000 for sales, and then 37,800 for avoidable costs. So 37,800 minus 28,000, that comes out to be a $9,800 loss. $9,800 loss. So these are both losses here. But if the company decides to eliminate both of these departments, then we're going to take 1,400, add 9,800. That's going to give us a total loss of $11,200. So that's a total loss. If they decide to, well, if they decide to actually keep these departments, it would actually be a total loss of $11,200. But if they decide to eliminate these two departments, well, this $11,200, it'll just become positive. It'll be an income here of $11,200. So this will be a benefit. This is something that they will have in savings. So I put on here savings. Okay, but this does, excuse me, this does reflect income here. Okay, so letter B, it says compute the total increase in income if the departments, if those two departments were eliminated. This is zero amount here, $11,200.